Josh Dickerson loved baseball. By the time he was a sophomore, he was the starting shortstop for O'Day High School in Seattle, Washington. Later that same year, in 2009, Josh was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer.
His cancer battle was extremely hard and painful, physically and mentally, and he never showed it. And that's just what was so amazing about him.
After almost a year of chemotherapy, Josh was cancer-free, only to find out a few short months later, his cancer was back.
You know, it's hard to even imagine knowing that your life is on a clock. At 16 years old, he had already, faced death and accepted it.
In 2012, Josh decided to forego any further cancer treatment in order to play one last baseball season. That was the last at-bat of Josh's life. Now, Jake Lim of the Arizona Diamondbacks grew up with Josh, and in a way, the two still share the field together.
I didn't like 19. That was the first number I had, and so I switched to 22. One of the reasons I had a buddy that passed away when I was younger. He wore number 2.
Josh covered a lot of ground as a shortstop for O'Day High School, but his influence on campus reached much further than the diamond.
All of the teachers, the parents, the siblings, the family members of the individuals that go to O'Day have all been impacted.
Josh Dickerson's life was taken too soon, but his decision to play one more season will always be remembered at O'Day High School. A small high school in Orlando is making a big impact on the court and on its young players. Orlando Christian Prep, a school of 150 students, just won its 8th Florida 2A state championship over the span of 13 years. OCP basketball is known for its dominance in the state of Florida and its top 20 national ranking, but the basketball program is also developing young leaders.
It has prepared me in many different ways, mostly being a leader.
Being a leader and a great person and just staying positive and making sure everybody's positive around me.
For OCP head coach Treg Burke, it's not just about on-court success.
I want them to work hard. I want them to be young men of character. I want them to be young men of integrity. And then when they leave here, to have a foundation to go out and be a positive member of society.
The players at OCP understand how their skills on the court will help them for the rest of their lives.
Every day you got to bring it. And I feel like that's going to prepare you for the outside world. Because in the outside world, nobody's going to give you anything, and it's the same way at OCP.
When each player leaves Orlando Christian, they know their crowd is still behind them and they are prepared for what lies ahead. I'm Mike Shanahan. This is Sports with Shanny. For Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, the allegations keep coming.
We are now representing 12 women, and we will file the remaining cases, the additional 5 cases, in due course as we do our due diligence.
A civil lawsuit was filed on Tuesday against Watson by well-known Houston lawyer Tony Busby. Those allegations were quickly dismissed by Watson. The Houston quarterback posted to Twitter that he rejected the baseless 6-figure settlement demand and that he looked forward to clearing his name. By Friday morning, Busby had filed a total of 7 civil assault lawsuits. He then announced that there were more accusations to come.
You should also know that we've also spoken to more than 10 additional women. So more than 22 women that we've spoken to who have reported conduct similar to that laid out in our public filings.
Busby and his team say these women were all contacted primarily through Instagram and that their stories are all similar. Busby claims that these unwanted sexual assaults came during professional appointments as recent as this month. So what happens next? Watson has now retained high-profile attorney Rusty Hardin, who will most likely hold a press conference of his own soon. And then, at some point, expect a Houston Police Department investigation into these allegations. The Nashville Predators beat the Detroit Red Wings 2-0 on Tuesday night. Normally, sports fans don't want the officials to be the story of the game, but that wasn't the case for NHL referee Tim Peel after he was caught with a hot mic.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early.
Nashville Predators coach John Hines said he expects the NHL to get involved.
You always want to have things that are going to be fair for your players and for your team. I think from our perspective, it probably doesn't matter how I feel about it in general, but the referees are employees of the league, and I think it's rather than me comment it, I think that it's an issue that I think the league will have to take care of.
NHL Senior Executive Vice President of Hockey Operations Colin Campbell announced today that Tim Peel will no longer be working NHL games now or in the future. In a press release on Wednesday, Campbell said, quote, "Nothing is more important than ensuring the integrity of our game. Tim Peel's conduct is in direct contradiction to the adherence to that cornerstone principle that we demand of our officials and that our fans, players, coaches, and all those associated with our game expect and deserve." Winnipeg Jets center Nate Thompson questioned whether or not Peel deserved to be fired.
Do I think he should have lost his job over it? I don't think so. But, that's the league's call. And it's unfortunate, but at the same time, there's no place for that in the game.
The NHL acted quickly, letting go of Peel just hours after the incident. Peel had been an NHL referee since 1999 and planned on retiring after this season. For Full Sail Live, I'm Mike Shanahan.